Hello everybody. This is a short video about Hurricane Irma and the path and the Bahamas specifically. Every time we seem to update this NOAA forecast, it looks like the storm is actually taking a more westerly course. There of course is a high pressure ridge here, and right at Grand Bahamas, it seems like this storm will turn north to northwest, because the high pressure ridge wall is right here. But as for this NOAA forecast, it shows today's Sunday 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. About 8 p.m. Thursday is when it comes barreling through the Bahamas. Actually, 8 p.m. Friday. This is where the storm is at a strong Category 4. It doesn't really hit a 5 until it comes out of the northern side of the Grand Bahamas. But 8 p.m. Friday, this is predicted to be right downtown in the Bahamas. Now, the purpose of this video is to talk about, yes, this storm is going to come right through the Bahamas, and yes, it's going to be really powerful and cause a lot of structural damage. But you have to remember, this area is hurricane prone, and these people know how to deal with it. So the loss of life in the Bahamas will probably be significantly less than the loss of life that we had in Harvey, simply because these areas are used to these kind of storms. Even with all the global warming / climate change, this is an area of the earth that knows how to handle hurricanes. So let's take a look at the actual path of this hurricane. Let's start on the 9th, Saturday 9th at 8 a.m. You can see the island chains here. You have Great Exuma, you have Cat Island, you have Eleuthera, Paradise Island, Nassau, Andros, and then the Grand Bahamas, and Grand Bahama Island right here. So as you're taking a look, this storm has come right through here. First is going to experience it is the Great Exuma. It seems like the one that's going to experience it the longest is going to be Eleuthera. And Nassau is going to be right there through the eye, so it's going to experience some of the highest winds, except the storm is going to get stronger as it goes through the Grand Bahama Island. So let's go back here and take a look at this forecast through the timeline. It's going through the Bahamas. So here's Great Exuma right here as of 8 a.m. on Saturday the 9th. We're at 80-mile-an-hour winds. You're in hurricane wind forces. There's Cat Island. Cat Island, 80 miles an hour. You're in hurricane force winds. Eleuthera, you're in strong tropical storm, not quite hurricane, but the whole island is going to be getting strong east to west, northeast to southwesterly winds. And Andros, of course, not as strong as winds. Nassau, also right there at the tropical storm level. Let's go ahead by one day, 8 a.m. on the 10th. So this is 24 hours now that Eleuthera has been feeling hurricane force winds, and now Eleuthera is in the strongest part of the wind zone. Nassau also, very strong part of the wind zone. The eye wall is right here, of course. Nassau is really going to be hit. Cat Island is going to be heading out of it, but still in the strong winds, still in hurricane force. And this is 8 a.m. on the 10th. So that's 24 hours. And let's go to 8 p.m., 12 hours later on the 10th. Now Eleuthera, still in hurricane force winds. Matter of fact, the northern side of Eleuthera, right there on the eye wall. And Grand Bahama is in strong hurricane force winds now. And as you can see, Nassau goes right through the eye. If this is completely accurate forecast, which obviously there can be a lot of deviation. So we're on the 10th at 8 p.m. Let's go to the 11th at 5 a.m. And you see the storm is moving more quickly. It reached the end of the high pressure ridge and is starting to head in the northwestern, northwestern direction. Grand Bahama is still in the 100-mile-an-hour range. Eleuthera still in 65 mile an hour. Let's see, yeah, not quite hurricane force winds, but still very, very strong winds. Nassau Still in tropical storm force winds, but coming out of it. And this is as of the 11th. So Eleuthera, almost 36 hours in the strong wind zone. Nassau, almost 36 hours in. 5 p.m. on the 11th. Eleuthera, you're down to the lowest level of tropical storm winds. Grand Bahama, lowest level of tropical storm winds. The storm has moved on. So this is a couple days of devastation, and you think that there would be massive loss of life here, just like there was in Houston. But I need you to take a look at this so we can all come to the same agreement and not overreact that the Bahamas are ready for this storm. If you look at the 1866 Great Bahamas hurricane, yeah, 387 people died. But as time goes on here, you'll see that the deaths drop significantly. 1929, the Great Bahamas hurricane, 140-mile-an-hour winds, about the same as they're going to face in Irma, 134 deaths. Here you go, Donna, 1960, 160-mile-an-hour winds, only 2 deaths. Betsy, 155, it's going to be stronger than Irma, deaths 2. David, 1979, 170-mile-an-hour winds, 1979, no deaths. Andrew, 170, 4 deaths. Floyd, 1999, 155, 1 death. Michelle, 135, 0 deaths. Francis, 160, 1 death, 2004. And go to Hurricane Sandy, the most recent one, 115-mile-an-hour winds, no deaths. And Wilma in 2005, 175-mile-an-hour, 1 death. So yes, they are going to get hit in the Bahamas. Yes, the winds are going to be very strong. There's going to be structural damage. But the loss of life like we saw in Houston probably will not happen. So just stay calm, be safe, and stay away from those surges.